Having that opportunity to work with Conley was huge because here's a guy. This guy was a deal maker. He was a deal junkie. He knew how to put together deals. Here's the thing that I learned about the difference being in brokerage as opposed to being a principal in deals and kind of on the inside circle. So there's an inside circle to deals that's taking place, right? And you get to control the deals. You're a principal in the deal. So having that control is a really cool thing. And then there's that outside track. And I was running as a broker around on that outside track and not really ever getting the deals. But when you're on the inside track, in the inside circle, you get your pick of the deals, right? And so what I learned there was I learned really, really quick how to identify deals. What made a deal? What was good? I mean, and in land development and real estate, you kind of look in the time frame of decades, and you're not looking at IRRs or ROIs or things like that. You're actually looking at times on your money. If you go into a deal, you want to have maybe you want to be 10 times on your money coming out of it. There's value add that gets to be put in there. You buy raw speculative land and you get to value add it. And every time you add a piece of value, whether it's soft cost value add, which would be things like a preliminary plat, going to a final plat, and then anything, and then you could add more value by horizontally developing it, which was putting improvements in, and then essentially selling a finished lot to a builder. You'd have an opportunity to take sections of the ground and do joint development agreements with merchant builders that were building these things, taking that risk, leasing them up, selling them on the back end, to institutional investors. There was so much that you learned about deals, deal structure, how to put them together, how to raise capital, what makes a deal a good deal, and how much value is going to be added through the process. And it was just insane the amount of money that could be made once you learned how to identify how those things worked. So the question is, am I making serious money at this point? The answer to that is no. I mean, when you end up in that bankruptcy state, and then you go to the next phase, and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and then as you move into the startup, I was doing brokerage, and I got to tell you that there was a point in time in brokerage where I just, you're constantly chasing the deals, trying to put something together and hoping that a deal closes. And, these land deals were kind of a big enough shot in the arm to where you might be able to buy 3, 4, 5, 6 months each time you closed a deal. But I remember getting down to literally, we're driving back from San Diego with our kids, and my wife says, she's like, I need some more money out of the account. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, I don't have any more money to give you. She's like, well, we got $3,000 left in our account. And I'm like, shit, why did we not have these conversations? I don't understand. What are we gonna do? And literally, it just so happened that a deal that I had put into the books, into escrow a year or so before it, finally some things happened. I got a phone call that, about 2 weeks later, it was gonna close within 30 days. And it's like, all right, you've got that deal done, and then you can kind of move on. When I was working for Conley, or I should say working with him, there was some opportunity to kind of be in some deals, make some deals, but I initially started, I guess you could say I was more of an intern because he paid me, he paid me a monthly salary basically, and I had certain responsibilities that I had to do, and I had to go. Once it became time, at a point in time where I think it felt like I was able to be a partner, a principal in deals, it was like, hey, you found the deal, now go out and raise the money, go out and get all these guys that you know. And I kind of looked at him and was like, wait a minute, if I go out and find the deal and I got to raise the money for the deal, I know how to facilitate the deal because that's what I've been doing. I'm not sure why I need you. And so it was at that point in time where I made the decision that I was going to break away and go out and do my own venture. So as I set out to go do my own venture, I kind of messed around, trying to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to structure things. I had some friends that had some land and looked at helping them put together some different things and just trying to figure out where I was going to go next. And ultimately, I ended up working with a family friend, and it was not the friend specifically, but he was part of the family of the friend. And so we got introduced to one another, big prominent family here in town, and so we decided that he kind of was a little bit of the black sheep of his family as well, and we thought, well, maybe we could partner up and go do some things. And I had made some connections along the way, and went out, found the first deal, got on the phone. We had a little bit of our own kind of capital from some closings that we had to get the thing into escrow and to start to put the deal together. And so we went out and raised the money to make that first deal happen.